Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Thursday morning live stream. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little late to start up just off the grounds of I got talking 3D printing, and then, well, we went a little long there because I was also doing some other stuff that I was a little behind the 8 ball on. But we're here. Welcome in, everyone. I see there's a darkness in chat. We probably got a Viking lurking because he was like, "Oh God, there's no stream. It's 5 minutes late. Ah, end of the world." But now Rex got distracted because woo, squirrel. But yeah, so we're jumping back into Stationeers. I know I've been doing a lot of it, but like, in my defense here, Rocketworks is a very active development team, I find. They have the gas update in the beta branch. Now, Stationeers is nowhere near as simplistic as, say, Icarus is, that gets kind of new content every week for the most part. But they are a very active development team. They get updates out on the regular. If I recall correctly from one of the news videos I was watching, they were actually trying to get Stationeers back on a bi-weekly update schedule. So we gotta get our atmospherics back up and running, which last night we did get it back up and running for the most part, but now we need to get into phase 2 of that and getting those gases mixing again. So yeah, I've also been putting some thought into how I'm going to do the cooling system and that, and yeah, we'll kind of get on into this, and we'll talk as we go, right? So, how's everyone doing anyways?
Medic!
Sure enough, there's Viking. Because yeah, once we get this up and running fully, which I need to get my gases mixing for, which that's going to be a hot mess. Then I think I'm gonna put redoing all the piping for the base on the back burner. I think I want to focus getting this up and running, getting this running properly, tuning some of the power system, for instance. Getting the cooling going, but first we need to get this automated again and fuel mixing up over here. So that's kind of where we stand. Am I completely against running that like that? Honestly, not really. Keep the suit station here and just run the piping a little different. This should be still clean, right? Yeah, it is. Take that out, run it that way, pull the piping up, move that to say about there, bring that around and up. Yeah. That sounds like a pretty good idea to me. I should be doing that the other way. because then I'm pushing it into the tank as I'm moving the stuff. Yeah, I still have that door open. Okay. Viking, I hope you realize I don't even really have to look to see who redeems the sound alerts. Because 9 times out of 10, it's you. And then darkness does it just to try to prove me wrong.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
And of course,
Is that why you were here?
As well. You know, the point I was making there, guys, is the fact that a lot of times, mind you, I do take into account the fact that 9 times out of 10, Viking is at work, and I'm not faulting him on that sense. But he'll pop in, redeem a sound, maybe giggle a little, and then be back to work. A lot of you other guys have a conversation. There's more of a conversation between us over, you know, just
hydration critical.
Sound, haha, shadow ball. I disappear now. I was gonna say, what is with all the noise behind me? It sounded like you were digging in, like, through stuff. Technically speaking, that should probably branch off to this section of the room, but that'll come in time. Yeah, I do have my label maker on me. What did I have that set at? I think I had that set at like 17. had to be something to that extent. Okay, so that is now our suit fixed. Tank is refilling, so we're back to having all the oxygen we need. Yeah, I guess we could pop that there. It should be fine. There's so much to come out of the system. Jeez. Okay, no. If we're gonna do that, we need to do it to the super fuel container. Come on now. Learn your explosive materials.
Thank you for listening to Seaberg1000.com. To support our station, check out our web store on the site. We also have an eBay store.
Because
Search
remember,
Seaberg
last
Music
night
Library.
with the fireball that we created with just a little bit of NOS and the volatiles. Why not both? Okay, so one of these needs to go there, and then the other one will technically work. I guess I could throw it there and it would be fine, and it's not too far of a run. Actually, I can throw it there and it'll be fine. I have none of my data cables with me. Oh, just wait. Some of the stuff we can start mixing once the gas rework is in. Oh. Ba-ba boom. You can't put the chip in upside down, Darkness. Luckily enough, you don't have that level of IT issues in this. However, walking into the wrong room... Oh, wait. Hey, genius. You set that up to be plugged in there like that. Now, I think that should be like that, and that should be like... Technically, I think I can get away with that, but with as much oxygen as we have... I think that'll work nicely. What do you mean I can't take the battery out with the wire cutters? Well, that just looks better to me. That I can now just run a wire along the edge there. Because honestly, I'm probably going to pop that wire out around the room instead of having it go straight through like this. So it should look a little nicer.
Health low.
Should give me enough gas in here too. No? $70, $30. I kind of want that the other way around. Okay, that's all set up properly. Still a little warm in there, but hey. Now we need to get that all set up and going. Which in itself kind of needs to... Well, this unit in itself kind of needs to be drained, but actually, I've got an extra tank. I can let those cool down, or let that cool down more, and get the system up and running Technically, both of those should actually, if I'm going to color code it properly, those should be orange. Because that's the fuel mixing system. That should not be, those shouldn't have been red. We're not going kaboom. Not currently, anyways. That was the way I wanted it. I need to have a pipe there first. This is a tank I definitely don't want close to the window.
Hunger caution. Waste tank caution.
I think that should be... I think that'll meet safety standards, right? I think at best they will do a 3x3 around them. So, yeah. Probably should have actually centered that a little better, but that's an easy enough fix. Not saying that my systems are prone to having catastrophic failures, but if something happens where that tank lights itself on fire, I want to be ready for it. So if we're going with that being... Get something like that. That's a good, like, the ideal mix.
Health critical.
That tank is really fucking hot. Jesus Christ. I almost feel like I need to put a little system in there to let it off heat, like off. Yeah. But as I use it, it'll come down. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Yeah. Do I have? Yes, I do. Okay, cool. Not as many as I thought I did. Mind you, I'm also noticing how I don't have some of my colors in here anymore. Well, this one, if it fails in here, shouldn't be too bad, because it's just oxygen anyways. No, that's not the machine I wanted. This is the machine I wanted. If I remember correctly, this is kind of the naming convention I used. Apparently Seaburg is deciding that we need Fallout vibes today? Analyzer A, B, C. Mixer A, B, C.
Cognition critical.
I was about to turn it all on, too. I did not have a gauge for that, did I? Oh wait, no, I have a gauge there on that. So, yeah, this one can get... I'll put this gauge on there. Which means it needs to be changed color. Guess technically I probably should have one on that one too, but...
Toxin critical. Power low.
I'm kind of gonna see how that mix is looking. Another one to be thrown by the door. I don't feel like that's right. Yeah, no, that's completely the wrong way around. I don't like how that... Why did that go angry on us right away? Let's refresh the code. Or let's refresh our knowledge with the code. Funny enough, I think this is actually the code that I was just using. I put them backwards. Think. Yeah, it loads the pressure from... No, those should be the analyzers. stairs. No, analyzing. Yeah, I do have them backwards. There we go. I hate when I second guess myself like that. Looks to be safe. I almost need a gas mixing script for the fuels. And if fire starts, it activates a release mechanism. It's gonna suck in the sense of gases being lost, but in doing so should allow for systems to not need rebuilding. We'll be able to hopefully use it to minimize damage. Okay. So, technically speaking, this is that whole system running once again. Should all be running fine within capable limits. That's not hooked up to the rest of the base yet, which is fine. It should automatically turn itself off once it's ready. Like once it hits those points. Big problem is power consumption, but there's not much we can do there currently. Uh-huh. Now... Ooh, pardon me. Has this system emptied out yet? No. Good lord. Hmm. Start running it to pressurize the base again and therefore put heat back into the water? Honestly, that might be one of my better calls right now. That system should not be able to overpressure, so therefore this pipe should be safe. Base in a hole should now be, like, actually... Really, that one was still on. Weird. Okay, so now... we are condensing, like we're taking the pollutant out of the base as a whole, which is also kind of condensing into the pipes. This is actually working. I'm surprised with how fast that temperature is dropping. There might be something to be said about having the pollutant currently just pour out into the base. Because it's like kind of really working to cool the base. Which in turn should really help to cool off those gases. No surprise, we're out of volatiles. Okay, so now oh yeah, that can kind of be turned off. Like, that can be closed. That section can actually even be just turned off in general. Yeah, we're dropping in pressure. Or not in pressure, in temperature. Oh look, it's another sandstorm. We got most of them under 100. So, that's a victory. That'll be needed here probably soon enough. Problem is we need to do more work outside, and well, we can't exactly work outside right now. Hey, that is an effective cooling system, I will let you know. There, Darkness. You kept saying I needed to use liquid cooling, so liquid cooling.
Waste tank caution.
That can go there. Those come right out there. That's gonna be the nice part of this. As I go, I can just kind of swap the pipes out up there when I rework them. That's holding stable, that's holding stable.
On occasion, we thank our supporters like Southampton Dog of Eastern Long Island, New York, where all of your trusted professional training and care needs are available in the Hamptons. SouthamptonDog.com.
Hi, this is Eric Singer, drummer for Kiss. Listen with me to Seaberg 1000.
I think that's all working properly. I'm gonna say the gas is just being pulled out. Yeah, the gas is being pulled out of there quick. Just every once in a while you see that flicker. Looks like oxygen might be not able to keep up still, but we'll see, because it also has that big tank behind it, right? That it very much was using, so... I mean, the other way of going about it would be to... Actually, we were talking about rewriting these chips anyways. Swap that out for a pump. And if this is reading under so much, turn that on. Say if this side's reading under, say, you know, we've got it set for, you know, turning off gathering at like 40 megapascals. If it's under 30 megapascals, turn that pump on to push gases from the reserve tank in. That could work. Somewhere out here. See, I'm still concerned that if I put volatiles into the system at that temperature, we're going to see automatic combustion occur. And, well, we don't want that. Why was it... I don't like that. Why was the sandstorm showing in the base itself?
Hydration critical. Air tank low.
Yeah, okay. Everything should be good. I mean... Yeah, we're starting to get them down far enough. Problem is the tanks are still way too hot. I would technically have more gas than what I would want in the system, but I could always go the route of merging the two tanks.
Air tank critical.
Although I also want to get the... Can I actually start walking around without my suit again? No, there's way too much pollutant right now. Say, can I actually, you know... start growing? Can I stop the death loop? Is it that time? No. Okay, that system's not gonna get running again anytime soon. Okay, this was a... like... the idea is there, but it needs work. I think part of that is I'm going to need a different way to acquire the CO2. I think that's just was leading to way too much heat. And if I actually go the route of the generators that I was thinking of, I might be able to do it. In a much more controlled manner. Use the American diesel generator, quote unquote. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a diesel generator, it'd be a gas-powered generator, but, I mean, you get my point. Come out 3... going out that 3, I should make sure I'm out of the way of any other pipes. Thing is, isn't this one that almost actually killed me when I was installing it? Come to think of it. Shouldn't need those ones as well. I think it was the gas line that did almost kill me. I'm gonna run this like this.
Health low.
A lot of this has to be pulled out anyways, so that's not a surprise. A bunch of this is going to be on my way. A lot of this brown piping is also going to get rerouted. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with that anymore. Nev, with the 15 stream streak, how's it going? How's the work going? Just knowing you're just puttering away with the stream up. Also, how's it going, Blob? Okay, with that, they're done like that. Okay, Hey, Moon, Moo. What? I don't know why, but I keep wanting to say Moon, not Moo. Okay, that's running. Power grid just needs some work to actually get it running completely stable. But I mean, I don't think this system is actually turning off at night. So I guess that's kind of a win? There's going to be a lot of this that's going to be coming. A lot of rads that need to come out and be put down somewhere else. Honestly, this tank can come out of here. And the rest of the system should be fine. Yep, it's just gonna pull those gases where they need to go. Water's gone up in temperature a little, but that's fine. That's supposed to happen. We are slowly but surely making progress on the base as a whole. The mixing system ran out of power. You know what? That's bound to happen right now. I'd rather have it run out of power there than at the... Well, actually, it doesn't matter, because either way it's going to... It running out of power should be fine. I just got thinking. If that system there... Oh no. It should be allowing gases to come in. Because I think that whole system right now is just about one big loop. No, it can't be one big loop. So if it was one big loop, the mixed tank wouldn't be building liquid. Right? Yeah.
Hunger caution.
Right, because the pumps here are sectioning it off. If I didn't have the pipes there, this whole system wouldn't collect any liquid because it would be dumping into the base, which overall could help with the cooling. If you would call it stupid, but it works, is it really stupid? That's actually allowed for the pollutant to actually be collected and out of the system. That's even better. Problem is, I think I did lose a lot of progress on the temperature. Oh, maybe not. few of those systems ran out of power, which isn't a surprise.
Health critical.
Clarice, it's fine. We perfected the cloning program long ago. Now, of course, the quality of the subject that was cloned does, you know, bring the question, but okay.
Waste tank caution.
Honestly, Darkness, the last like 10 clones have all lasted about the same length of time. Because I'm not eating or drinking. So they all last about 2 days. Two or 3 days, anyways. Oh, I think they just get into the second day, basically. That should be starting to condense in the pipes. Now. Yeah, it's hard for me to tell. I should die. I should fall over any time now.
Cognition critical.
There it is. So this is when the chat gets bombarded with nices, right?
Toxin critical.
Did they end up with an oxygen issue? I thought the race for the last few was to get this plugged back in before we ran out of oxygen for the tank. I didn't think anyone had an oxygen issue completely, though. So now we throw those all on the ground there, and okay. You're going to tell me I don't have any available right now? Do a backflip! Alright, time to start gathering up the parts of the old cooling system here. Which, yes, will technically have the negative effect right now of the cooling not being as effective for a bit, but we are going to have one big cooling system. Get all these little cooling systems in all these different spots here. With one that everything goes through. And hopefully can keep up. Well, so I needed to get this. The reason why I'm doing the cooling system now is I kind of needed to get everything laid out to know where it's kind of going. Technically, I still want to change the way the brown pipes are running, but I can't. I don't want to pull that out yet till it's fully emptied. And the new system is going to be using most of the stuff that's already printed out around the base. So why print? Like, why would I want to print off, say, a second medium radiator to replace one that's already in the system when I can just, because I'm reworking it all, take that radiator out of the current system and move it to where its new location? Uh-huh. Actually, it really doesn't matter. I bother putting it back because no. See, Darkness, what that hissing noise is, well, Tull had some Taco Bell. And he's trying to, not scare everyone away. That's not what I wanted to do, but okay. Let's actually, like, put that back, thanks. Oh, right. That's a thing with this. Even though these go on the pipe, if you accidentally pick up the pipe, it blocks putting back the pipe. See, I think part of my issue comes down to a lot of my cooling was spread out all over the place. So I was doing a little bit of cooling here and a little bit of cooling there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lot of cooling around where the system sorts the gases. And hopefully in doing that, we'll be able to keep up. Because either the gases, when they're mixed, are going to be really cold and need to be heated up in the storage system, which I'm fine with, or the storage system is going to cool them to last a little bit. Either way you put it, it should work itself out. Mind you, again, I'm working on this, we're currently working on it in the sense of we're not putting heat into the system right now.
Thank you for listening to Seaberg1000.com.
I'm also going to be a little more
check out our web store on the site. We
precise
also have
about
an
where I'm
eBay
putting that
store.
heat in.
Search Seaberg Music Library Inc.
Yeah, in theory, that's working its way to... That should be working its way to cooling everything. That should be working its way to vacuum. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I might even put in a part of the system where it reads the mixed gas tank and goes, oh, this isn't in there? Turn off these parts of this system.
Waste tank caution.
You don't see any volatiles? Turn off the front part of this. There's so much of this that just does not need to be here anymore. Oh. Yeah, I can literally attach to this line here and fire it to there. And then everything over there is redundant. I mean, I could theoretically, I should. You know what? That idea is actually should have been implemented long ago. What I should actually be doing is having a hot gas mask storage and a regular gas, like mixed gas storage. Because of that, then I know where my heat problem would result. If I can't keep up on the hot side, I can slow how fast that's introduced. Kind of how my 3 rads was enough for my advanced furnace, no matter how much gas I had, because I slowly introduced it into the rest of the system. Right, I didn't finish connecting that all up. I was like, wait, did I finish connecting that? The answer is no. I think it's that one there that's... Oh no, it connects back there. Well, that'll up the pressure a bit in there.
Waste tank critical.
It's always funny when I look at my storage and it's like, oh, I'm out of yellow pipes. You know, the color of the pipes are printed off at. Or I should say printed off in. I don't think that's really going to cause much of an issue. Because there's way more storage capacity than that should ever accumulate. So that should be fine. Okay. Grab those, grab that. Let's start getting the other side taken out. Okay, there we go. Now I can pull out this line here. Say, is this even actually properly working anymore? That could just be... Okay, so now... Those coolers don't work well in the sense of they take up a lot of space. So I need room for them. But I do kind of want to go small at the same time with this system. So... Or I should say I want to keep the... footprint small. Didn't think that would be a gas I'd have an issue with keeping temperature down in, but okay. I mean, it's a small amount of pollutant back there that we would theoretically be losing. When did that pop? I think some of my systems are gonna need some pressure relief fail-safes. Kind of like how I got things here. I just realized these pipes do not cast shadows. Mind you, it might be to my settings, because I did turn down the shadows because that's supposed to really help performance. Hey, that is... I mean, that there was not a very active system, so I kind of feel like that wasn't the hiss. That system should theoretically be like... Yeah, it was pretty much empty. Yeah, there we go. It's going back to save points.
Hydration critical.
It's funny because I spent all those times working on those systems, thinking them through so nicely, and then I was like, shit, it failed. Well, actually, the system itself, this didn't fail. This failed to keep up with the temperature. Stupid notification just got a notification that I was... Wait, what? Mod where? Mod for Nev? Oh god. Okay, really? What the fuck? Where did the notification come from? Like, what? Like, was it Twitch or was it Discord? Nav, because I feel like you're still lurking. Did you do a dumb? Came from Twitch? What the fuck? Nev just accidentally pushes the button that mods everyone that's ever been in his chat. Temperature's going fucking up again. That's not what we want to see. But overall tank temperatures are coming down, so... might just be a process. All right. I'm thinking I do essentially, I set up 2 different coils. And this is all redundant, so it can all come out. I think that's literally just sheeting there to make it look better. That was weird. Yeah, you think I'm reclaiming enough pipes? T-branch there. Actually, no. Not T-branch there like that.
Waste tank caution.
T-branch like that.
Health low.
And with each one of those, I'm gonna need to go and grab. Actually, for now, I am gonna go about this way. But I'm gonna leave it like that, so if I need to put a little more oomph behind it, I can. I'm also, I think, gonna let a little bit more space in there in case I need to get in there for repairs. And, well, here's where things get really tedious. Don't you fall. With any luck, these ones will work well enough that just through quantity alone, they will release heat. Release like all the heat. But then there's always the question of are they gonna heat the gases up due to solar radiation?
Hunger caution.
That's the complete opposite of what I wanted to do. I feel like it's radiating more than it's taking in, so... There's so much cooling potential ahead here. Just spread out everywhere.
Health critical.
The other thing you might be hearing too, Darkness, with the hissing, is with this project, I actually have to use the jetpack. Like, I'm actively using the jetpack, and it does kind of hiss a little. 56 megajoules of radiation, like radiating of heat. Yeah, that might help a little. And honestly, that's all, is that really all the smalls that I had? Mind you, at the same time, that's nothing to shake a stick at either. Alright, right now we'll leave it at that.
Cognition critical.
Damn it!
Streaming live since 2009. You're listening to the best of the CS1000 background music library from Los Angeles, California.
Pick up the wrench. That was weird. Okay, I might be at a point then where that's empty. Those are all dead on power, which is no surprise. That's surprising to see. Might as well start pulling all this apart. This line is vacuum, right? Yes. Okay. Really? One pipe over a full stack? Or sorry, two pipes. That. No, I just got thinking. I disconnected all of that. Yeah, it still had gas in it. Okay. It doesn't need to be pretty right now. It's just a system to connect shit. Pull gases out. And there we go.
Base tank caution.
I mean, we're down a little bit more on the gas temp. I mean, literally a little. 0.1.
Air tank low.
It honestly might be better to have that set up where the gas goes through it completely. Like, if I take that... and...
Air tank critical.
grab 2 turbos. Why not? I think turbos are some of the things that I have the most of. Power cable. And we're gonna need to give this a battery, or it's not gonna run. So we might as well make sure it's a battery that's literally gonna be more than it'll ever need for storage. We do this. Oh, really? You didn't get angry at me this time? think that is technically working. Because it is definitely down in temperature.
Incoming raid.
Welcome in, Raiders. What were we playing today? Sorry, we're monitoring our temperatures right now, so we're trying to get our gases to properly cool down. So that's why we were just kind of standing here at our tablet. Monster Lab sim. Nice. Got my first legendary. Let's go. Okay, this thing definitely has way more cooling potential at night, which is no surprise, really. But can it manage to cool the gases overall? Is the big question. And what, we're 68.5 here, and we're 68. I'm not seeing the numbers I want to see, but at the same time I am seeing some change, so it might do the trick. I mean, that's 5.05 megajoules the heat it's releasing. That's not horrible. My next system is probably going to release more, but because I'm going to be using the medium rads, it's going to move slower overall, so I kind of want to have them in two separate systems of sorts. You know, something could be said about just coding this line to here, too. How is that hitting such high numbers for... What's our base here? Okay, no matter what we do there, it's already letting out 50.6 megajoules. How's our pollutant looking? As if it's still not really dropping in temperature. I would have figured that stuff would have been just about frozen in the system by now. No surprise, it's gonna want to stay. You're not reading any gas in there, so you want to turn yourself on because it's so cold. Do I try and hit the system with volatiles? Oh, do you give me... a combustion point? Okay, you know what? I'm not seeing anything, so... we'll make a boom boom save. Because this is either going to light the pipes on fire and possibly blow out the system, or it's going to be the final push to get this whole system cooled down. Or it's not really gonna do anything? I'm surprised. We'll take it, though. Like, it does look like it's helping to cool things down, don't get me wrong, but... I mean, hey, if this is gonna work, this will work. That's it. My system was very much missing volatiles.
Hydration critical.
And I think it was like, at this point, this should have combusted. So if it's not on fire yet, I don't think it will be. Woohoo! We'll actually have some fuel back in the system. Why is that 50-50? That should not have been 50. That should not be a 50-50. Wait, I think I was working on changing the ratios. Yeah, I flipped the ratios around, so by the time it filled that tank to the point it needed to. Yeah, okay. I know what happened. Okay. It's fine.
Waste tank caution.
Okay, everything there is looking good.
Filter low.
That's all taken care of. that's coming down in temperature. Which actually also means I should be able to safely run that as a pass-through. If I wanted to. Okay, so now. For right now, 2 megapascals of fuel ready to go is enough. That's not... I was thinking of turning that up, but no, let's not. Let's not turn up our dangerous substances. I definitely do not want to know what...
Waste tank critical.
Oh, that combustion would have only occurred at, like, 300. So I was safe the whole time. As long as there was no, nitrous oxide in the loop. Because a super fuel, that apparently, that auto-ignites at, like, 50 degrees Celsius. So that one would have auto-combusted it. If, of course, you go off of what the wiki tells us. Which, like everything with the internet, we take with a grain of salt.
Temperature high.
Okay, so that's coming down in temperature. They're still very much working on coming down. The water itself is a couple degrees lower, so it's good. It's working properly. Okay. So then honestly, the next one I think I want to work on getting going, funny enough, is going to be getting the water moved. To back here. Instead of having a bunch of tanks everywhere full of water. So... should be fine to remove that. Yeah. I honestly probably could have removed both tanks and be fine. This unit's going to need to be moved. And that's a big part of why I want to move the system. Yeah, we should have a good bit of... I need more of the turbo pumps. A lot of that should be running a lot better than it is. You know, it's funny, I was saying the other day how I didn't quite have enough tanks to make large liquid tanks. I forgot I had the liquid ones over here. Yeah, she was angry for a little bit. It's fine. We're good. Do I necessarily need to have the equivalent of a large tank for my whole water system for capacity? Probably not. If I fill this thing, is it going to mean that I pretty much shouldn't have to worry about water ever? Yeah, I feel like it. Let's face it, if I can fill a large tank full of water to then help be able to take the heat out of the rest of my system, the amount of heat that water will be able to take in should be redonkulous. that, and, well, with the way they're talking for the gas rework, this might be enough water storage. It'll definitely give me some room on anyways right off the bat.
Thank you for listening to Seaberg 1000.
Because a lot of your
Support our
combustion,
station, check out our web store on
your
the site.
fuels,
We also have an eBay store.
will have a
Search Seaberg
off
Music
product
Library.
of steam/water. So, I'm gonna need some space. Funny, it feels like I'm kind of boiling some of the water now.
Hunger caution.
Okay, there's that out of the way. Where did that one go? Tank kit, no. No. That's all phase changers. There's what I'm looking for. Them, and them. Like I said, I'm also going to try to use this to pull even more heat out of the gases.
Health critical.
That should do it. Now as the water drops in temperature, so should the gas. And as the gas stabilizes in temperature, so should the water. Question becomes, $562 liters. How can we push this a little farther to get more? You let a leader through at a time. Problem is, if we push that more, that's just under a liter after 3. Do we give that a shot? Like, I'm trying to drop that rapidly and all.
Waste tank caution.
But what if... we dropped more a couple degrees than we did...
Cognition
God
critical.
damn it. Never fails. Happens at the worst time. Because let's say currently
Waste tank caution. caution.
Only getting... $113 milliliters through at 52 degrees. I mean, that's dropping down like 3 degrees. Would we be more effective getting more through? I'd say at this point here where we're just under a liter, but we're only dropping a degree. Mind you, if I'm pulling all of that out anyways, I can put a couple more... What? I'll put all these rads that are in here over there as well. That'll up the amount that's flowing through. And with that should help more. Just do that, because that's just working on trying to empty itself out. So let's see here, how's this already looking? Yeah, that's already come a lot closer to what the temperature of the water is. That is also still just very much having an issue. There we go.
Waste time critical.
I should almost hook these two sides up so they try to cool one up, like help cool the other down. Put the heat into there and take... But I don't know if that'll necessarily work as well as I want it to. Goddamn waste tank. That's 2 liquid rads there. That's the gas ones. I know. The base needs to be cleaned up. Okay? You don't have to keep pointing it out. Honestly, this no longer needs to be hooked up. So that can go there. That kind of needs to be actually put into the monitoring room here. But that'll come in time. That can be disassembled when I get around to it. Son of a... I could have sworn I had unmuted after Queen popped in there. But yeah, I was just saying how the water system should handle this. We don't need this popping. And there's something to be said about just having that having that run with a lower amount of gas, with just how much the temperature was changing there. Right now, also, hey Blackpoint. Apologies, I didn't notice that sooner. This system isn't even really getting power at all. Okay. Turn all that off. Honestly, we haven't... Well, no. Just my genius would forget to turn that back on before leaving. All of that's disconnected. Yeah. It is literally just a thing of our solar does not support atmospherics, which we kind of figured in the first place because it barely supported atmospherics before we rebuilt it.
Waste tank caution.
Base itself is kind of cooling down. Theory. Water should be cooling down. One. Oh, I was supposed to say 52. Oh, interesting. That doesn't have nearly as much of a temperature difference anymore. Don't have as much of a temperature difference, but just... I do that. See, amount of water going through going to increase? Looks like it's not. No. I do get a lot better of a temperature drop, though. Problem is, that's a little coming through. That's not going to change the overall water temp.
Hydration critical.
See, that's got temperatures going right back up. What if I took these out of here? Instead, threw them in as one last cooling effort. That'll help take that little bit of water that comes through and cool it just a little bit more. I was finding that these didn't work nearly as well, if I remember correctly.
Waste tank critical.
Yeah, I don't see any change in the numbers there. Well, that goes to 27. If that's...
Power low.
The only other thing I can think of is maybe swapping... See if we can cause it to pull a little more through? I'm pretty sure there is a liquid turbo pump. If we set that to full send, will it pull more water through those rads? Because if it pulls more water through, theoretically it would cool more.
Hi, this is Eric Singer, drummer for Kiss. You're listening to Seaberg1000.com.
Okay, it's just vacuum all the time now. Maybe it's just not gonna pull as much as I was hoping it would. Damn it. I didn't want to drop the wrench. That's not really doing much. And it's not increasing on that side at all. I was kind of hoping this would be more effective, not gonna lie. I mean, that is kind of going up. Well, so maybe I do need to get this side a little bit of a push. And of course that battery now dies. I think that just kind of goes to show the level of power issues we're at. For everything that I've pulled out of the system, the new atmospherics is just way too hungry. It needs a proper power generation.
Air tank low.
And for that, we're gonna have to look at some other systems, but I think that is
Health low.
a problem for another day. Unfortunately, I really don't have the time for doing the thing.
Air tank critical.
And I mean, right now as it sits anyways, we're... Is that actually... That's actually brought it up quite a bit. Jesus Christ, I didn't think that would... I mean, at least that's a better blend now. Great, I do have that right? Yeah, 2-to-1. Alright. With that, we are going to drop the all-important end save. And, yeah, there's not much really I can do. Like, there is, but there isn't. But, alright guys, like I said, we're going to call it here. We will be back later on tonight, 6 p.m. EST for, sounds like Void Train with Harlow and Nolan, and it sounds like we might have a Tabor joining us too, possibly. But, till then guys, don't forget, like, subscribe, follow, push all the buttons. Hell, join the Discord. If you haven't yet, we do stream on both Twitch and YouTube, so consider showing us some love on the other side. But we will see you next time. Bye bye.